Hi, I'm Miss Jana, and this is another Backyard Biology Takeover! Today we're going to explore something that you can see in your backyard, but only every once in a while, and that is the moon! The full moon that just occurred on July 5th is called the buck moon, and that is because it is about this time of year when antlers start to appear on top of deer's heads. It's also called the thunder moon or the hay moon. It should be pretty visible right now, so if you get a chance to go outside at night, check it out! Today we'll find out where the moon goes during the nights you can't see it, and what they mean by the dark side of the moon. But first, we need it to be nighttime. That's better.
Have you ever wondered why the moon has craters? The craters you see on the moon have occurred from asteroids and other objects in space impacting the surface. The moon has no wind, no weather, and certainly no plants. Almost nothing can remove the marks on its surface once they are made. The dusty footprints of astronauts who once walked on the moon are still there today. Both the moon and Earth have tectonic plates beneath their layers. On Earth, these cause the Earth's surface to form new rocks, get rid of old rocks, and have even removed evidence that meteorites once crashed into Earth. However, the moon has not had active tectonic plates for billions of years, so that's a lot more time for craters to form and stay put. As you can see from this NASA photo, the moon has many craters. The last thing that can affect the moon's craters is volcanism. Volcanic flows can cover up the impact craters, but it has been without any volcano activity for around 3 billion years. It's probably easiest to understand the moon cycle in this order: new moon, full moon, first quarter, third quarter, and the phases in between. The new moon occurs when the moon is positioned between the Earth and Sun. The entire illuminated portion of the moon is on the backside, the half that we cannot see. As a full moon, the Earth, Moon, and Sun are in approximate alignment, just as the new moon, but the moon is on the opposite side of the Earth, so the entire sunlit part of the moon is facing us. The shadowed portion is entirely hidden from view. The first quarter and third quarter moons, both often called a half moon, happen when the moon is at a 90-degree angle, so we are seeing exactly half of the moon illuminated and half in shadow. An easy way to remember those between lunar phase names is by defining these four words: crescent, gibbous, waxing, and waning. The word crescent refers to the phases where the moon is less than half illuminated, and the word gibbous refers to phases where the moon is more than half illuminated. Waxing essentially means growing, and waning means shrinking. The time it takes for the moon to orbit the Earth is 27.3217 days. This figure is called the orbital period. So why doesn't the moon block the sun during a new moon, or the Earth doesn't block the sunlight from reaching the moon? The reason is because the moon's orbit is about 5 degrees off from the Earth-Sun orbital plane. However, at special times during the year, the Earth, Moon, and Sun do in fact line up. When the moon blocks the sun or a part of it, it's called a solar eclipse, and it can only happen during the new moon phase. The next total solar eclipse for Georgia will be in April 2024. When the Earth casts a shadow on the moon, it's called a lunar eclipse, and can only happen during the full moon phase. The next total lunar eclipse for Georgia will be in May 2022. You may have heard references made to the dark side of the moon. This refers to the fact that we only see the same side of the moon, even during all of the moon phases we just talked about. The other side of the moon can only be seen from space. It has nothing to do with illumination, rather it is because the Earth's gravitational pull on the moon has made it to sort of slow down in its rotation, so that its rotational period around the Earth is exactly the same as the orbital period. Therefore, the same portion of the moon sphere is always facing the Earth. So the face of the moon we see as a new moon is the same as the face during a full moon.
So now that you've learned a bit about the moon, its orbital phases, and why musicians sing about the dark side of the moon, let's create a moon phase calendar to let you know what phases the moon will go through and on what dates for here in Gwinnett County through the end of November.
This is what your moon calendar will look like when you are finished. And for a quick reference, these are the shapes that represent the different moon phases. So let's get started. You will need black construction paper, a ruler, a pencil, a piece of chalk, a plastic knife, some Play-Doh in either yellow, gray, or white, and a glue stick, which is kind of optional. For our grid measurements on the black piece of paper, we're going to do, on the width side, markings at 2, 4, and 6 inches, and then you will draw across and create a line going from one side of the paper to the other. Now we will do it on the length side at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, and 9 inches. And then again draw lines across until you have a grid of 20 squares. Now you will just use your chalk to draw over your pencil lines and make them a little bit more noticeable. If you have aerosol hairspray, you can spray it lightly onto your paper, and that will help keep the chalk marks from rubbing off. Now you will fill in the dates that were included on that calendar picture, one in each square, and these are the dates that certain moon phases will be recognizable in the sky. Alright, put that aside. And now we're going to take out our Play-Doh. You're going to take just a small piece, roll it around in a ball in your hand, and then squash it down into a flat circle. Sort of like a moon-shaped piece of Play-Doh. Now you're going to take another small piece of Play-Doh. This time you're going to roll it on a flat surface until it becomes a long, skinny snake. And then you're going to wrap it around to create a circle that has the middle missing. Try to make them all to be about the same shape and size. You will need to have 10 of the full circles and 5 of the line circles. Now we're going to fill out our calendar. The shapes you will cut in half in order to create the third quarter and first quarter moons, and then you will lay them out in a pattern. And in this case it goes third quarter, new moon, first quarter, full moon. As you can see by the shapes, the full circle is the full moon, and the one with the missing middle represents the new moon that you can't see in the sky. Keep going until you have filled in every single square. Third quarter, new moon, first quarter, full moon. You'll notice that October has 2 full moons. That's pretty special. Third quarter, new moon, first quarter, full moon. And now you are finished. You'll just want to press down on them. You can also use glue if you want to make sure that they don't fall off. That kind of depends on how long you plan to keep it. Take a look at the calendar and see if any patterns show up. Pretty cool, huh? Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for another Backyard Biology.